I hope you are having a wonderful morning because Donald Trump is having the opposite and letting every single Senate Republican know because in the breakfast meeting they just had, Donald Trump, who is clearly in a state of panic, was attacking his own Republican Party, melting down and like on the verge of tears through most of the speech he gave. It was an absolute embarrassment that we are going to get into. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into the moment in which Donald Trump was attacking Republicans and revealing the sinister plan he has to stop elections going forward, I want to begin where Trump did with, of course, attacking SNAP recipients because he is a disgraceful individual.
I think so. Millions of Americans are going to be without SNAP benefits, and I will say about SNAP benefits, so when I was president, we had $7 billion worth, and now they have many times that because these benefits were given to anybody that asked, and they're up to, I hear, just many times, $47 billion. So it wasn't the purpose of SNAP. It was for people that really had problems, down and out, people that really had problems. But during Biden, they gave it to anybody that wanted it. I think it's something you have to talk about because the numbers are incredible. But countless public servants are now not being paid, and the air traffic control system is under increasing strain. We must get the government back open soon, and really immediately. We have to get it up. We have the hottest economy we've ever had.
It's not surprising to me that Donald Trump doesn't know anything about how the government works, but he clearly doesn't understand that the majority of people who are on SNAP are working or have family members that they are trying to keep fed while they are working. I don't think that the children on SNAP, Donald, are mooching off the program, but maybe if your economy wasn't so fucking terrible, maybe if a million people hadn't lost their jobs, maybe if we weren't on the brink of a recession, maybe if the stock market wasn't fluctuating all the time as you play games for insider trading, maybe, Donald, if prices weren't exploding because of your idiotic tariffs, fewer people would need SNAP. But Donald Trump doesn't actually care. This is because of his economy. And this isn't because people are mooching off the government. If anyone's mooching off the government, it is the man who has made billions of dollars in office off of his crypto shitcoin, because no one has profited off the power of the presidency more than Donald Trump. Grifting has been his focus. But now his focus is something new. The filibuster. And he talked about it in this clip, but the next one that we're going to check out, he started attacking Republicans over it.
It's time for Republicans to do what they have to do, and that's terminate the filibuster. It's the only way you can do it. And if you don't terminate the filibuster, you'll be in bad shape. We won't pass any legislation. There'll be no legislation passed for 3.25. We have 3.25 years, so that's a long time. But when they can't do an extension, and John, I think they've done an extension every single time they've ever been asked forever. This is the first time they haven't done an extension. Extensions are supposed to be easy, but if they won't do an extension, they won't do any bill, even a simple bill. And we should do our own bills. We should get out. We should do our own bills. We should open up. We should start tonight with the country's open. Congratulations. Then we should pass voter ID. We should pass no mail-in voting. We should pass all the things that we want to pass to make our elections secure and safe, because California is a disaster. Many of the states are disasters. But can you imagine when they vote almost unanimously against voter ID? All we want is voter ID. You go to a grocery store, you have to give ID. You go to a gas station, you give ID. But for voting, they want no voter ID. It's only for one reason, because they cheat. We would pass that in 15 minutes. If you don't get it, you'll never pass that. You'll never talk about mail-in ballots. Mail-in ballots make it automatically corrupt. If you have mail-in ballots, automatically it's correct.
Listen to how he is talking about his plan for unchecked power. Voter ID. Never lose another election. We have to win everything. They won't be able to beat us. Donald Trump has already taken most of the power out of Congress. This is no longer a co-equal branch. Mike Johnson is his bitch. John Thune is his bitch, with the exception of this one instance in which he's kind of standing up to him a little bit, refusing to get rid of the filibuster for Donald Trump, at least for now. But what Trump wants is complete control and unchecked power in the Congress to shape elections, which he has no authority over, to his liking. Donald Trump had already tried to do this last night, and he failed. Not just because Prop 50 passed overwhelmingly, by the way, and we're going to get into that more a little bit later, but also because Donald Trump sent people, poll watchers, vote checkers to California to intimidate, and it did not work. We will not be intimidated, which is why Donald Trump is so scared of what comes next for Democrats and why he's attacking his own party.
There's nobody else who's going to object. They're going to do it the first day. They're going to pack the court. They're going to make D.C. a state, and they're going to make Puerto Rico a state. So now they pick up 2 states. They pick up 4 senators, okay? You think you have problems? They're going to do all of the things. They're going to pick up electoral votes. It's going to be a very, very bad situation. And it's done. It's done. As soon as they attain power. Now, if we do what I'm saying, they'll most likely never attain power, because we will have passed every single thing that you can imagine that it's good and all good for the country. And there'll be no reason to. If we don't do that, people will say they're not doing much and they're in power.
Trump is furious. Trump is furious right now. And he knows what's coming next. It is the end of his term. The midterms will effectively end Donald Trump's term as he knows it. And I know some of y'all sometimes say that's hyperbole when I say it, but Donald Trump right now is admitting, and he said in post after post after post on Truth Social, if Democrats come in with the majorities that we expect, and if we can flip seats in Maine, if we can flip seats in Texas, potentially Alaska, if we can continue to win across the country in the Senate, and the House results are as we expect them to be, a fucking shellacking, and more Democrats follow Gavin Newsom, talking about Virginia, talking about Maryland, talking about Illinois, New York, it's going to be a bloodbath for Donald Trump. And then what will he be able to do besides have his members of his administration, members of his cabinet brought before Congress every single day to be questioned on the crimes that they've committed, the corruption within this administration, how they have broken our government so wholly? That'll be it. And so that's why Donald Trump is saying we need to, right now, change the rules completely so Democrats can't take power. That is not about passing an agenda. Donald Trump has a wholly unpopular agenda. That's what he heard last night. Donald Trump spent a lot of time saying, I'm not on the ballot, I'm not on the ballot, I'm not on the ballot. You were on the ballot. And we all told you to go fuck yourself, Donald. Nobody likes you. And so that is what Trump is waking up to this morning. Republicans, throughout all of this term, have not come to terms with the fact that they will have to face voters again. Donald Trump has been so focused on his ego, on what makes him happy, on his ballroom, as he usually is. That's no surprise. But today, he woke up pretty somber. He realized what happened last night. He realized what it means for a year from now. And he's terrified. Let's make that pretty damn clear. He is terrified of you. He is really worried right now. And so he's attacking Republicans who won't go along with his plan to rig the midterms. I don't think that they're going to budge on this filibuster issue. And it means Donald Trump is just going to be crying even louder. And it's going to be hilarious to watch. And so while the Republican Party melts down, let's take advantage of the momentum that we have that Gavin Newsom talked about last night in this clip right here.
A party that is in its ascendancy. A party that's on its toes, no longer on its heels. From coast to coast, sea to shining sea. But it was not just a victory tonight for the Democratic Party. It was a victory for the United States of America, for the people of this country and the principles that our founding fathers lived and died for. And so we're proud. We're proud here in California to be part of this narrative this evening. We're proud of the work that the people of the state of California did tonight to send a powerful message to an historic president. Donald Trump is an historic president. He is the most historically unpopular president in modern history. In every critical category, Donald Trump is underwater. He promised to make us healthier. He promised to make us wealthier. We're sicker and poorer. And he fundamentally understands that. Why else? Why else would he call Greg Abbott saying he's entitled to 5 seats? Why else is he trying to rig the midterm elections before one single vote is even cast? He understands his position at this moment in the United States of America. One thing he never counted on, though, was the state of California. Instead of agonizing over the state of our nation, we organized in an unprecedented way in a 90-day sprint. People from all over the United States of America contributed their voices and their support for this initiative. We stood tall and we stood firm in response to Donald Trump's recklessness. And tonight, after poking the bear, this bear roared with an unprecedented turnout in a special election with an extraordinary result. None of us, however, are naive. This is a pattern. This is a practice. Donald Trump's efforts to rig the midterm election continue to this day, and I'll reinforce that in just a moment. You're seeing him take action all across this country, not just in Texas. You saw what they were successfully able to do in Missouri, what they did in North Carolina, what they're trying to do in Indiana, and inevitably in Florida. They are not screwing around. In June of this year, we saw 4,000 National Guard federalized in the state of California. We saw 700 active duty Marines not sent overseas, but sent to the second largest city in the United States of America to militarize our streets.
This is the energy that we need. People believe Democrats are weak, that we are ineffective. That is not the case this morning. Democrats won sweeping victories. Democrats brought it to Donald Trump. And Democrats, as Gavin Newsom said, and I'm going to do the hands, we got our mojo back. Oh, that's what Gavin does right here. We have our mojo back this morning. So let's feel like it, right? Let's sit a little taller. Let's have a little bit more conviction in calling out this bullshit. I know I'm good on this show, and I am excited. I am stoked. Last night was fun. We can admit it, last night was pretty fun. And we're going to have some more fun up until the midterms. And then it's going to be another bloodbath. And if you want to support our coverage of that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let them silence you. Until next time. Oh, I forgot. Did you miss this video? We'll see you soon.